Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking right here at our circle book, and we're going to add arc length. Arc length. So if we have a circle, and we have an angle in it, we have angle ABC, and this right here, this is my radius R. If we want to find the length of A to C, we're going to do arc angle over 360 equals arc length over 2 pi r. And then we end up cross multiplying. Okay, we're going to do area of the sector right below this. So we're going to actually turn the page, and I'm going to add volume and surface area of cylinders on our last page of our circle book. So once you have arc length down, go ahead and turn the page, and we're going to add volume and surface area of cylinders. I highly recommend you do this. You can use this on your test. It's going to be very difficult to do your test if you don't have all your formulas. Okay. Arc length is arc angle over 360 equals arc length over 2 pi r. You should probably not be on your phones right now and be paying attention and doing this. Okay, so we're looking at cylinders, which I cannot spell correctly, so close enough. All right, so if we've got a cylinder, which I draw a circle and then I take edges down, okay? When I talk about the radius of this cylinder, I mean one of the radiuses of the circles on the top or bottom, and height is the distance between the two cylinders. And then we've got surface area is 2 pi r times h plus 2 pi r squared. And then volume is pi r squared h. So it's just the volume and surface area of our cylinders. Okay, we're going to start with arc length. So once you have this down, you might want to flip it back over to look at arc length. And we're going to do some of these notes together. And then we'll talk about volume and surface area of cylinders. Okay? All right. We're right here on circumference and arc length classwork. Okay? Find the circumference of each circle, use your calculator's value of pi, and round to the nearest tenth. Okay, who remembers what the equation is for circumference? It's also in your circle book. Anybody remember what circumference is? 2 pi r. Okay, so for number 1, we're just going to go 2 times pi times 7. And there's a pi button on your calculator. Please do not use 3.14. Please use pi. 2 times pi is right next to the letter h at the bottom. And you should get 43.98. Or 43.9. I will put 98. It says to the nearest tenth, and I did it to 100th, but whatever. All right, what do I do if I have a diameter? Because that's not the radius. How do I find the radius if I've got the diameter? Divide by 2, so the radius in this sense is 8. Make sure you put your, whatever it is, your units next to it. So I'm going to go 2 pi times 8. So 2 times pi times 8 gives me 50.3 miles. Okay, so we get the point. We can do circumference, right? We've done a whole practice on these. So let's go ahead and move on to arc length. All right, I've got arc A to B. I know 90 degrees is my central angle, and 10 equals my radius. So remember, I'm using the equation that you just did in your book, where it's arc length over arc angle over 360 equals arc length over 2 pi r. So I'm just replacing all this. So my arc angle is 90, so I'm going to go 90 over 360 equals, I don't know my arc length. I don't know the distance between A and B. So I'm going to put x over 2 pi r. So that's 2 times pi times 10. So far, so good? Now I'm just going to cross multiply. So I'm going to go 2 pi times 10 times 90. And I get 5,654.87 equals 360x. And then I divide by 360. And I get x equals 15.7. That's inches. Should we try another one? Okay, I'm going to move on to number 6 then. I'm going to move out a little bit. Okay, number 6. What is my central angle here that I'm looking at? What is it? 45, and we put that over what? Good. Equals, do I know my arc length? So I put x over, what's my circumference? How do I find my circumference? 2 pi what? What's r? 5. Good. Okay, so I'm going to go 2 pi times 5 times 45 gives me 1,413.72 equals 360x. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 360. And I get x equals 3.9 centimeters. How are we feeling about this? Yes.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Once you find from A to C, would you just double it to get to B?
So here's the difference. That's a very good question for number 7. We're looking for arc ABC. So we get, right, that we're looking for, we're not looking from A to C, we're looking for this whole thing. So you cannot subtract because I'm not finding the angles. So I can't subtract from 360. I'm actually finding the length. So instead of using 90, I'm going to go 360 minus 90, which is going to give me 270. So that's the angle I'm going to use. So I'm going to go 270 over 360 equals x over 2 pi 25. So I got 270 by going 360 minus 90. Gives me that orange. So I go 270 times 2 pi 25 gives me 42,411.5 equals 360x. And then I divide that by 360, and I get x equals 117.8 feet. Let's try one more like that, okay? Let's try number 8. We've got 37, but I want arc ABC, so I'm going to go 360 minus 37 gives me 323. Okay? And then I'm going to go 323 over 360 equals x over 2 pi 8. So I can go 2 pi 8 times 323 gives me 16,235.8 equals 360x. I'll divide that by 360. And I get x equals 45.1 meters. All right, guys, why don't you guys try 9 and 10 on your own, and I'll try it too, and then we'll compare our answers, okay? Try 9 and 10 on your own. You guys ready, or you need another minute? Need a minute? Okay. Okay, ready? Number 9, I get 31.4 centimeters. And number 10, I get 8.4 inches. Feeling pretty good about that? Okay, we're going to go to your cylinder homework, and we're going to do one for surface area and one for volume. Okay, let's do number 1 on the front for surface area. Remember, the equation for surface area, which is in your circle book, is 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. 6 is R, 5 is H, right? The height is the distance between the two circles. So right here for number 2, your height is not 10. Your height is the distance between the two circles. So we're going to get 2 pi 6 times 5 plus 2 pi 6 squared. And we're going to put that in our calculator. So we just go 2 pi 6 times 5 plus 2 pi 6 squared gives us 414.69 kilometers squared. Because it's surface area, Anthony, you need all 3 of those. Since it's surface area, that's what we do. Okay, you ready to turn it over and we'll look at volume? We're just going to do number 7. Volume is pi r squared h. This is my r, this is my h. Again, h is the distance between the two circles. So I'm going to go pi 9 squared times 12. So pi 9 squared times 12 gives me 3,053.63 kilometers. And what is volume? Do I put a 2? Do I put nothing? Do I put a 3? What do I do next to my kilometers? Cubed, right? It's 3D. It's volume. Okay? And that's it. You should be able to do all of those. You only have 10 volume and surface area problems to do, and you've got your homework for that, which you can find the circumference for a lot of them. So it's pretty straightforward.